Welcome to the Fellowship of the Films podcast. My name is Duncan, and with me I have Ryan.
Yep.
And today we're discussing She-Hulk, Attorney at Law.
But before we get into that, remember to like, comment, and subscribe on this video, as well as follow us on Twitter and Instagram. The links for those will be in the About section of the channel. Back to you, Duncan.
Let's get into She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, episode 8. Now, if you guys have listened to any of the previous...
The first 7 episodes, thank you.
Well, yes, first, thank you. And I'm sorry. We have not been terribly positive about the show. So if you were listening to our episodes as a She-Hulk fan being like, I want to know what my guys thought of this, you would just be like, oh, they hated it. And pretty much we have up until now.
But this 8th episode, I gotta say,
Your initial thoughts.
This was good. This was I'd hesitate to say the word good, because you know when you're like you're in shock still, right? Where like we've watched the last 7 episodes of She-Hulk, right? So yeah. when they like throw something that almost seems like a presentable MCU title, right? It gives me a little shock, right? Because I'm like, okay, but is this actually good, or am I just wanting this to be good because of my brain? Like it's just like your brain shock. Yeah.
On that note, I actually thought of that during the episode. I was thinking of all the people who I've said don't watch She-Hulk 2 because it's terrible, and I was like, I wish I could show those people just this episode because this episode's so good. But then I was thinking, to them who haven't had to put up with the previous 7 episodes, would this episode still be as good?
Yeah,
that's what I'm questioning.
But there was things I liked in this episode at least.
Yeah,
so
for us,
it's gonna be a positive episode.
I thought it was good. I'd give it a solid good.
It's good.
I actually liked a lot about it. The humor, actually, I found funny. Like,
there was actually some...
Frog was funny. Like, I thought the other guys were funny. I liked the other guy with the guy who couldn't die? Oh, Mr. Immortal.
Mr. Immortal.
Right?
Yeah. That was him, yeah.
So, like, I complained about that, but it's because it didn't contribute to the plot. Leapfrog, that was his name, right?
Yeah.
Leapfrog was ridiculous, but it made sense for the plot because it brought the plot along. So, because later in the episode, Leapfrog does things that cause Daredevil and She-Hulk to meet up.
Guess what? Hopefully you've seen this episode, because there's Daredevil in this shit.
Yes, there is. There is, finally. And they released the clip of him on the car meeting her online, like, a couple days ago, right? Mm-hmm. Which I thought was ridiculous. Like, I watched it. I'm like, that's stupid. Why would they release a clip of Daredevil in the show? And I'm like, but I'm going to watch it anyways. I think that was dumb. I would have liked to just see in the show, but I get that.
I don't know. I get it. Maybe they're trying to... Maybe the show's underperforming and they're trying to actually capitalize off the fact that they do have,
Frickin' finally, yeah. Okay, what were your thoughts on Daredevil? Now, what previous... Do you have any previous knowledge or experience?
I know. Netflix, they made a show called Daredevil.
Is that it?
That's it, man.
Did you even know what his suit looked like?
No, I knew he had red. I knew he was like red, and sometimes you said he had yellow sometimes. So like, yeah, looks like ketchup and mustard.
As they said, yeah. I've never heard that joke be made about his suit, so I found that entertaining.
All right.
Yeah. So I obviously know Daredevil a little more. I've read a couple graphic novels. I've watched a bit of the Netflix show. Not a huge Daredevil fan, or I would have read all the graphic novels and seen all the show, but I had some expectations going in. They were met. He is a more humorous version, but we knew that was coming. Look at the show and look at the MCU.
Well, even if I've seen like some of the other Netflix or whatever, like eras, like the Netflix Marvel quote-unquote series or whatever, and those are dark as shit, some of them.
They are. So I knew they were going to change the tone.
Yeah.
But, you know what? There is some phases that Daredevil goes through in the comics where he's actually quite humorous. So I was expecting that. I was accepting that that's the take they're going to do, and it's coming from somewhere. They're not just, like, comedying it for the sake of comedying it. Oh, yeah. It's coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
So, sure. And I thought it was never too much. They never disrespected the character. We've heard on this podcast how I hate when they do that, when they disrespect the character. Yes. They didn't disrespect him at all. He was just funny at times, and I appreciated that.
Oh, yeah.
Some of his best moments this episode... I'm going to go through some.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, yeah.
Well, just when she meets him at first.
I thought I'm pretty sure it's, I like the actual, like, him as just, I'm not 100%, what's his identity?
Matt Murdock.
Yeah, Matt Murdock, yeah. I actually liked it, like, his introduction as just being, like, a lawyer. I don't know. I thought that was not bad, actually.
Yeah, no, I thought that was good, and I liked his... Somehow his corny line just made me laugh and didn't make me annoyed with it. When his my ass remains unwhooped.
Yep.
I don't know, that just made me laugh. I didn't have an issue with it. Maybe I was just more accepting this episode in general. I don't know.
I thought, overall, I feel like they handled that introduction pretty well. There was good there was the comedy actually felt like it hit a little bit, and it wasn't just like the actual normal She-Hulk comedy, which just causes like the ripples of pain just going up my arms into my brain. Like,
there was decent comedic timing. Like, I thought it was good, and then she just freaking rips the helmet off of him. That took no time.
Yeah,
it's a good thing he didn't go up to fight anybody else important that's stronger than him, because that was easy.
Yeah.
On the other hand, though,
although he is like a Hawkeye kind of like power level roughly character, right?
So, I would say he's better than Hawkeye.
But like in that era, like unpowered humans who were trained.
Unpowered trained human. Yeah. With
gadgets,
a disability essentially, but
a downside.
A downside.
A downside.
Well, not a downside really. Anyways, and then
there's some heavy air quotes there.
I really didn't expect the little bit of romance between him and She-Hulk.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to just full on.
Yeah, well, it's not that I didn't expect. Well, I didn't expect that, but it started trickling in, and that's when it hit me unexpectedly.
See,
like when he was like, "I can hear all the heartbeats. I can hear your heartbeat."
Yeah, and when she invited him for a second, like as soon as it kind of hit me, as soon as she like, "You want to get another drink?" I was about to be like, "Is this the direction they're taking this?" Like,
I didn't mind it though. I didn't
hate it. No, they can have a one night stand. It's all good.
Yeah, if they just started dating on a regular, I'd kind of be like, interesting choice to take for the show. But the fact that it was just a little thing, and now they know each other, and well, really know each other.
Yep.
I didn't have an issue with that. What else? He had some other great parts in it. When he left, when he had to do the walk of shame.
Oh yeah, that was.
And he's just like, morning.
He just got
again. The comedy was actually funny.
That actually was not bad. I thought that was actually funny. Yeah, which is a shock.
And also, I was gonna say, like, this is the first episode, and this is straying off the Daredevil point. Let me think if I have anything. Oh, before we go off of Daredevil, that action scene in the hallway.
Okay.
Oh, dog.
That was actually that was action.
That was, well, you know what? He had a couple hallway scenes in the show from Netflix.
Yeah.
They're always so good because he does like his leap off the wall. He'll jump up on one wall and leap off the other, and it's.
Because he's an acrobatic guy.
I thought that was good. The way he threw his things and they...
Oh, yeah.
I really, really enjoyed that. Like, just this episode, this felt like a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Instead of, like, a discount superhero show.
Yeah.
Like, and it just was so enjoyable to actually... This episode didn't feel like a goofy... like...
Some goofy lawyer show with some hero other stuff
like,
or whatever.
Gossipy. It just didn't feel as just corny as it has the entire show. And corny, I mean in a bad way.
This actually, like some of that actually stuff.
It was enjoyable. It was like a good comic book. It was like the MCU, or what we like it to be, which I really appreciated. So I think I'm getting more positive on this episode the more I think about it, but still. Yeah. That was great. Now, straying off, do you have any other points about Daredevil?
Nope, I think I like the introduction overall, and yeah, I think definitely, then just sprinkling him in before he gets his own, like, because I think it's a long series that he's getting. It's gonna be
18 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hot minute. Like, I think I don't know, just sprinkle him in before he gets his standalone thing. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if he made some appearances because that's pretty far down the road. The series. I wouldn't mind if he made some appearances and other things before then too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That being said, so what else do I have? I was taking notes. I like the episode that much that I was like, I want to come back to these things.
Dang.
I did like they referenced the Sokovia Accords.
They did. They've been repealed.
And a small thing, but I just liked it. Reminded me that this is part of the MCU, and sometimes the show hasn't had a whole lot of connection.
Which not necessarily is a bad thing, but those little references like that, I like those. I like those
Reminds
little
me of
references
this
and stuff.
yeah.
You know, because it makes it feel connected without feeling forced. You know.
Well, and it's nice it makes it feel connected to She-Hulk, but that also reminds you that Daredevil is in the MCU now too.
Yeah.
Like, because for me, I'm used to seeing him not referencing the MCU because he's in the other show, right?
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that. Leapfrog.
Leapfrog.
I think I mentioned this at the start of the episode, but that was actually a funny character.
Oh yeah, I didn't mind him, honestly.
Ribbit. What was it? Ribbit
and Ribbit.
Like, somehow a lot of the comedy and the stupid things they did in this episode were funny stupid instead
it felt
of
more
stupid.
It felt more like it had a little bit of charm, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm overall really positive about this episode. The only criticism I have is Luke Jacobson in this episode.
Yeah, he just randomly, like, you're literally coming to me, not with a lawsuit, but with an actual, just, like, he just seems, like, I get his, like, that's the kind of like, the persona or whatever, I'm mean, blah, 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 mean fashion designer, right? Yeah. But, like, he just seemed overly mean in this episode. And then, like, I hate you. It
seem cartoony.
And,
he reacted like a cartoon. In
a
cartoon, a lot of times, the character will come to them with something and they won't even finish explaining it, and the other character's freaking out and jumping to conclusions, and that's how a cartoon misunderstanding starts. And that's exactly what happened here.
Oh, yeah.
She's talking about this, and he's like, well, you're not my friend anymore. Like, I just thought it was really cartoony, the way he acted throughout most of the episode. And I get, like you said, that's his character, but I thought they took it a little far to where it was just like he's just a stereotypical.
Oh, I thought, like, that just felt a little forced to me.
Yeah. So,
the other thing that, speaking on forced, the other thing that one other critique I have of this episode would be, like, I get where they wanted to end off at for the finale, basically, right? Because they wanted to end off with, you know, everything was going good for your main character. You can't have that going into the season finale. Cool. You got, she's at the lawyer award show, basically. It's fancy, cool. And then they like that slideshow that they played or whatever, right? I don't get what's so incriminating about, like, the guys they hacked in. Like, they already hacked into that show. So first off, you're not in the greatest view by, you know, illegally hacking into that thing. Second off, they didn't even, like, it's not like they had, like, the video, you know? It's like the video, like the video that had, like, of, like, Bucky killing Tony's parents or something, right? It's not like they had, like, actual, like, blackmail or shit like that. They just had a slideshow of She-Hulk pictures.
So, yeah, that's what I'm confused of. They're like, She-Hulk is not the person
that you think she is.
But and then they show a bunch of normal things. Like, they show, what did they show? They show a picture of Captain America's butt, which is just funny, because...
Yeah.
They show some Tinder stuff, like, not Tinder, what was she on? What was it?
She was matching with people.
Matcher or something?
Yeah,
it was something.
She was matching. She used
this version.
She used a dating app, and she had sex with a guy. Okay,
so that's what they're showing. They're like, this is so bad. She's not who she seems. She does normal human things like date, text, have pictures of guys on her phone.
I get maybe they're going off the angle of, if you're like a celebrity, they put you in a higher light, basically, right, or something.
She's a human, so she has pictures of guys on her phone. That is perfectly normal.
But she's She-Hulk, though, right? So that's the angle they're going. If I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but I still don't really get it.
No, I do not get it at all.
Like, and I would go and I get it. You know, but I don't know why she just got so mad out of the reason. Now I get, like, the, you know, Hulks get mad or whatever, right? And I don't know, I like to see her actually show some emotion instead of just magically controlling this, like, form.
But that's the thing. And I was going to add, I'm not confused by the fact she got mad. I think that made sense, because she does have the Hulkness inside her, like you said. Mm-hmm. It makes sense she got mad. I get all of that. What I don't get is the two guys on the screen who are, like, treating this like they have something really incriminating. None of that was really incriminating. Mm-hmm. I am confused. I'm not confused by her reaction. If they were just trying to bring a reaction out of her, it makes sense.
They did.
But the fact that they acted like she's not who she seems, I'm like, how? She's like,
I didn't like, it's not
that
like,
did not make sense.
It didn't really make a whole lot of sense. Maybe
crap.
Maybe they explain it more in the finale or something, but I didn't really get it.
No. Yeah, even if they had just shown someone hacked into that and then showed all that stuff just to get her angry, that would make sense. But it's those two guys.
It's the fact that they're trying to present
it like it's giant incrimination. And I'm like, it's not. Mm-hmm. So that's my only criticism. Well, that and the other guy.
Yeah.
Those are pretty much my only criticisms. Other than that, I enjoyed this episode. Easily my favorite episode.
Easily. Where episode 6 was easily my least favorite, this is easily my favorite.
Super enjoyable. If I was to tell someone to watch one episode of the show...
This one, yeah.
This one. No, if I was to tell someone to watch one episode, I'd say watch the first and then watch this one. Because you need to have kind of how she became She-Hulk.
Yeah, you just need a background.
And then
the recap will catch you up good enough for this episode.
Yes.
Which also, they have a lot to... Like, I'm assuming the finale is just going to be the same episode length?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they have a lot to cover. Because they have...
It's not that they have a lot to cover. It's been... How long they've been building it up. It's going to be hard to make us feel satisfied.
Oh, they're not. Because... Well, here's the leads they have. They have... Which I'm assuming it's still these guys or whatever, right? But they have, they have She-Hulk genetics or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, what did they want with that? Are they just looking for weapons that can pierce her, self or whatever? But I don't get, if they have to actually, explain why these guys wanted that so bad, you know?
Well, I think it's not going to be satisfactory either way, because no matter what the reasoning is...
It's going to be dumb.
The point is that we've been anticipating this so much, even if there's not a ton to explain, it's just going to feel disappointing having waited all these episodes just to get a 30-minute conclusion.
For a 30-minute, oh shit, I got my essays due in half hour, man. I got power through it.
Yeah, I know it won't be a satisfying end, and I'm pretty sure this is going to have been my favorite episode of the series. Mm-hmm. But I'm just glad we got this. I will look back on this episode fondly, and if I go back to rewatch any of this, I will rewatch this episode.
Oh yeah.
And if any friends go, should I watch some of She-Hulk? I'll be like, I'll come over and watch episode 8 with you because it's such a nice episode. The rest, don't
take it or leave it. Preferably leave it. But
so that's my final thoughts on it.
I liked it. I overall, even this episode is... I don't know. I like this episode overall.
Yeah, I think it's good. So I don't think we have any more. Do you have any more thoughts?
No, that's She-Hulk.
Well, that's the concluding thoughts for today. We will be, at some point, getting a Werewolf by Night episode up, as well as next week's series finale of She-Hulk. So keep watching your feeds for our latest content.
On the trigger.
Exactly. Have a nice evening, everyone. This has been the Fellowship of the Films podcast. Again, it's been Duncan and Ryan.
That's me.
And once again, like the video, comment, and follow us on all of our socials.
All right. Thank you.
Have a nice evening. Or